Hey guys, Teresa here. Welcome back to my channel, Lost My Thread. Today I'm going to be sharing my plans for the Precious Fabrics Challenge. If you follow other sewing YouTubers, there's a very good chance you're already familiar with this challenge. It was started by Whitney of Tomcat Stitchery. The idea behind it is she wants us to go through our fabric collections and pick out those really special, really precious pieces of fabric that are not getting sewn up and actually make them into a garment. I can definitely say I have a number of fabrics that have been in my collection for years that are really desperate to be made into something, but I've been waiting for that special project, waiting for that special opportunity. And this is your opportunity, guys. I am jumping on board and I'm going to make something really special for this challenge. The rules of this challenge are super simple. All you need to do is find a piece of fabric in your collection that you would think of as precious, sew that up into a garment in the month of September, and share it over on Instagram by the 30th of September using the hashtag PreciousFabric24 and tagging Tomcat Stitchery Carmel. I'll put all the details down in the description box if you want to make sure that you're following all the rules. I would say definitely please make sure that you are tagging Whitney, because I know in my experience, hashtags on Instagram are definitely a bit iffy these days, but tagging will make sure that you are able to enter into this competition. There are a number of really great prizes to be won. You can enter as many times as you want, but you will only be entered into the prize draw once per person. So on to my plans for this challenge. Now, when Whitney reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to join in, initially I had to think about what I felt was like precious enough in my collection to be appropriate, because in many ways all of our fabrics are precious, right? But there was one fabric that stuck out to me as something that has been sitting and languishing, I feel, in my collection, just not getting sewn up into what I intended it for. And I actually remembered having talked about it on my YouTube before. And so I was scrolling back through my feed to try and find, when did I talk about this fabric before? And it was actually my second YouTube video, guys. It was July of 2020. And I was looking back, watching that video about what I wanted to do with this fabric. And I feel like that's made it even like a little bit more special and precious to me. It's something that I watched my dreams and ambitions for this fabric, and still it just hasn't happened, and I need to do something with this fabric. So this is the fabric, and I feel like it's showing up pretty well on camera. I feel like how incredible and gorgeous and special this fabric is. So this is a viscose jersey fabric in a really wonderful cobalt blue. It has the most amazing movement and drape to it, as you can see. It's actually got a really nice kind of bounce to it as well. It has four-way stretch, so this is the width ways. Goes really well, and then lengthways as well. It has a bit of stretch as well. So the original idea that I had back in 2020 when I showed you guys this fabric the first time is that I wanted to make the Sallie maxi dress by Closet Core Patterns. The Sallie maxi dress comes with the Sallie Jumpsuit, so you can make both things out of this pattern, and I've actually made both out of it. The only thing was I wanted to do something different with the back section, because there's a V-neck in the back with originally a tie, and I wanted to do something different with the way it closes. Never could quite figure out what I wanted to do with it, but I feel like now I don't think that is exactly what this fabric is made for. For me, I feel like I definitely now want to make a jumpsuit with this fabric. I'm on a bit of a jumpsuit kick at the moment, and I've been thinking about options for jumpsuits, of ways to get in and out of jumpsuits, because in general, I can't do a zipper on my back. I couldn't do like an invisible zipper. I'd never be able to get out of it. Jersey is a little bit easier because you can kind of stretch around your body and sort of climb in and out of it that way. And it came to me, the perfect thing that I feel like would be a top for that jumpsuit that would work well is what I'm wearing today. So this is the Adrienne blouse by Friday Pattern Company. It's a raglan sleeve top, it's a top, and it has elastic channel here down at the cuff. It's like a 3/4 length sleeve, and there's also an elastic section in the shoulder, so you get a little bit of gathering over here as well. I have made two versions of this top, and I can say, and a dress version actually of this top, and I can say I can definitely pull this down over my hips and get it back on without any problems. The fact that it's jersey helps. The fact that there's elastic here definitely helps as well. And I'm kind of amazed that it didn't occur to me earlier that this would make a really good jumpsuit. I generally really like the shape and the fit and the style of this. I've been wanting to get some more, I would say, like feminine style jumpsuits in my wardrobe. The only thing I will say is this is meant to be quite fitted. It's kind of like a bodycon type fit across the bodice and the waist. So I would size up a bit to make it a little bit looser, just because I feel like for the style of the Sallie jumpsuit, I think it makes more sense. So I haven't said already, if you haven't worked it out, my intention is to mash these two patterns up. So I'm going to use the Adrienne blouse for the top and the Sallie jumpsuit for the bottom. So both are intended for knits. What I really like about the trouser of the Sallie jumpsuit is it has a really nice big wide leg, which will move and drape really well with this fabric. It has some hip pockets as well, so there's like a slash hip pocket, nice roomy pockets as well. The Sallie jumpsuit also has an elastic channel going around the waist, and the top is meant to be a little bit longer to give a little bit of blousing over that waist, which gives a little bit of definition without being too tight and figure hugging, which I love. I feel like the reality with this fabric in that jumpsuit is I'm aware it's going to be pretty doggone 70s. I like the 70s. I think it's good fun, but I feel like this jumpsuit is possibly a little bit over the top, but that's part of the issue I think with this fabric and why I haven't sewn it up yet is I feel like this fabric is somewhat over the top. So I got this from Selvedge and Bolts. This is actually a Louis Vuitton fabric, and it is, I will say, very special seaming and very special feeling. Now, I think it's probably not going to come across on camera, but this fabric actually has like a crepey texture to the top of it. It looks super luxurious. There's almost like a kind of a sheen. It's really nice and reflective. It looks like fancy fabric, and I think frankly that is really probably the biggest reason why I haven't managed to sew this up into anything yet, because I don't have that fancy of a lifestyle. But maybe sometimes rather than always making things that fit your lifestyle, when you have fabric that's a bit over the top, maybe you need to find opportunities to wear the things that you're making from the amazing clothes that you make. So I'm just gonna go right ahead and make myself a totally 70s, totally over the top jumpsuit with this glorious fabric and find some occasions to wear it. So if you are out there in the sewing community and you wanna set up a sewing event, like a Disco 70s Studio 54 sewing event in London, hit me up, let me know. I will be there with bells on, ready to go in this jumpsuit. I definitely have other fabrics that I could have chosen for this challenge, but I feel like this one to me is that little bit extra special. Being a designer fabric, knowing that I can no longer get this fabric anymore, the fact that it's just that little bit more fancy, which makes it just a little bit more intimidating, less day to day, less the kind of thing that I tend to sew with. I feel like it's the fabric that I needed the biggest kick up the butt to actually get on and sew with. So thank you again, Whitney, for setting up this challenge, for encouraging all of us to pull out those really special and precious fabrics and actually put them to the use that they are intended for. I would love to hear, if you are thinking about taking part in this challenge, what is the precious fabric that you want to sew up into something? What are you thinking you might do with it? But also, what is it that makes that fabric so precious to you? There is a whole vlogger tour, which if you haven't seen already, I will put up a little schedule of all the vloggers who've been making videos for this challenge. Yesterday was Unsocial, tomorrow is in Agatha's Cottage. But I have to say, my favorite part of watching all those vloggers' inspiration videos is hearing the stories behind their precious fabrics. What makes something precious is so unique to all of us, and it is really fun to get excited and feel that enthusiasm come through. If you do decide to take part, make sure that you use the hashtag, that you tag Whitney, Tomcat Stitchery, Carmel over on Instagram. You can put entries in anytime before the 30th of September, but that is the deadline. I am very excited to see what everybody sews up throughout the month of September. I want to see those really special, really extravagant, over-the-top garments, and I'm definitely looking forward to putting mine together as well. Please do give me a like if you enjoyed my video today. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you want to see how this jumpsuit turns out, or if you want to see any of my other videos, and I look forward to seeing you then. Bye!